as you were saying there about a team, where's that sitting at the minute? How many sort of staff have you got, or how many freelancers have you got? What's your structure?
Yeah. So I'm actually, I was still solo until last week.
Nice.
We just hired our first virtual assistant, Danny. Shout out Danny if she's watching this.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we just hired Danny. Like I said, shout out Danny if she's watching this. We're still training her on a lot of stuff, so it's too early to tell, but she's gonna be a rock star, dude. She's awesome. So I'm really excited to have her. And then next role is probably account manager, salespeople. Gonna outsource the ads last, obviously, as that's where I started. Keep the main thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the plan.
So what are you actually training her in then? What is her job role going to be within your agency?
So it's a lot of outreach. So she's actually going to be outreaching and scheduling like initial like introduction calls, just like 10, 15-minute calls. So Facebook messages, we're going to be training her on some cold email, maybe even some LinkedIn stuff. Obviously we don't want to overwhelm her, but yeah, that's going to be her role. So
that's awesome, man. And obviously, as you say, your plan is keep scaling, keep growing your team, and keep building a bigger infrastructure.
Yeah, that's the plan. I want to take this thing to the point where I can remove myself. So I'm at least where I want to at least get myself to that like CEO role, right? Where I'm, all I'm doing is coming to a couple meetings every single day and moving the pieces around. Mm-hmm. Right. And I want to get to that point so then I can have that time freedom back. Right. Yeah. Because I think that's one lie in this industry, right? Is that, hey, you're going to start this thing up and you're going to have time freedom. Well, yeah. Kind of, right? Like if I only tried to service my clients that I have right now, yes, I would have time freedom. I'd only have to work, I don't know, maybe 10 hours a week, right? To make sure all their ads and everything, that's all situated. But you have bigger goals than that. So you're going to keep working, you're going to keep going, and you're still going to put in those 80-hour weeks, if not more, right? So it's not all of that, but I want to get to the point where where it can grow without me. I can step away for 30 days and the business is still going to go and the business is still going to grow successfully. So that's my goal. I realize that's a huge revenue number to hit. That's being at $100,000 a month or more in revenue. But I mean, honestly, it sounds crazy, but I'm fully expecting to hit that by the end of 2021 without a doubt. There's zero doubt in my mind. So I'm really excited, man. It should be growing quickly. And
that's crazy, man. Fun. Nice. Congratulations, well, and I hope you do hit that figure by the end of next year. We'll have to get you back on again at the end of next year to double check how close you got.
Hell yeah, man.
But actually, on top of that, I actually kind of wanted to check. Obviously, up until last week, you hired Danny. You're a solo man. You're the same as myself, just running your own business. What would a typical day look like for you? So if someone's sitting here watching this or listening to this, and they're an entrepreneur, wannabe entrepreneur, they're trying to get into the space of digital entrepreneurship. What does a day look like for you? Wake up time, what's your sort of schedule? Give someone an idea of what a day in the life of you feels like.
Yeah. So as far as my schedule, this one thing I'm working on a lot right now is just managing my calendar better. Right.
Yeah.
And it certainly looks different now than it did when I was just starting. Right. Keep that in mind. But right now, I wake up pretty early. Right now, I've been waking up super early just because I'm putting together training material and everything for Danny before our team meeting in the morning. But normally I'm waking up around 6 or so, just kind of doing nothing for like 30 minutes. As weird as that sounds, just kind of sipping some coffee, hanging out for 30 minutes, maybe do a little reading or scroll on Instagram, whatever. Then I normally do like an hour or so of something that's like a big project, right? So like right now it's been a lot of training and building out SOPs and everything for Danny, but maybe before it was improving a service for a client, like a big vision project for an hour or two. Then I usually go work out, nothing crazy, like 30 minutes or so. I was a wrestler, I was a college athlete, so I have to be working out still.
Yeah.
Then I go shower, get back to the day. So sometimes I do like a quick 5-10 minute meditation. I'm not huge on it. I probably should be. But then kind of jump into the day around 9:30 at the latest. Before Danny, that typically looks like the first hour or so is honestly just kind of like maintenance tasks, if you will. So a couple days a week I've scheduled in my calendar to check on ads for clients, make sure they're performing well, tweak things if they aren't, that type of stuff. I have another time blocked out like every Thursday to check in with clients, just shoot them all a text saying, hey, how's things going? What can we help with, etc. But then honestly, the most of my day is still setting appointments, closing appointments, for the majority of my day from like 10 to 5, sometimes even 7 p.m. So
Do you do content creation or like schedule posting for any of your clients as well?
I tell them we can, but I try not to sell it. I haven't sold one yet. I don't want to, because there's no real ROI in it. So I feel bad selling it. It's just like, it's a convenience charge, right?
Yeah.
It's a, hey, it's convenient for you not to do this and for us to take this off your plate. So
yeah, I suppose that makes sense for your niche that you're in, because obviously you don't need a lot of content marketing there. Whereas obviously like where I work in at the moment, predominantly martial arts industry, where it does take like, I mean, we putting up like 2-3 posts a day for some of our clients, like just relentless content. I mean, I say we, I mean fucking me. And I mean, I make this content. So like, this is what I was having a discussion with about yesterday. At the minute, I'm actually spending so much time on fulfillment in different fulfillment areas, and my outreach just like there has been no outreach for a couple weeks, to be honest with you. Like since we moved house, actually, I haven't done outreach. I haven't bothered. I've been at the time I was so focused on getting back on track with the work I was doing, and with the move being in the middle, and I just was focusing on trying to fulfill that and trying to make sure everything was still the clients I had, make sure they're happy. More importantly, now just my outreach has just fell off the map. But it's a nightmare trying to do it with the amount of content. I think that's probably where I'll go first is graphic designer, and just find a cheap enough graphic designer that I can bring in. I mean, I did have one at the start, but it was like one client in, and you don't need a graphic designer with one client. So my aim now is kind of like to try and work out the content side of it, because I'm writing far too many posts. I'm making all these like graphics and all these photos I'm editing, and it's taken away from, as you said, scaling and continuing progress and being a profitable business month on month.
Yeah, right. I mean, that is the other piece of it too, right? Like it would take a good bit of our time, even if like, even if I just take one day and write them all for the month and schedule them.
Yeah, so I do.
That's a full day of my production that what we're going to charge $500 for. Like, so it's not a great use of my time right now, but in addition to that, like there's no way to track like the ROI. Like I can't go to my client and say, look, we made these organic posts and you got this much revenue in return back for it. Right. But I can go to them and say, look, you spent $2,000 on our service. We brought you this many leads. How many appointments did you set? How many did you close? And now it's real, it's trackable, it's justified. So that's why I've always stayed away from that. For those twofold reasons.
Did you just say you charge £500 for content creation and posting?
That's what I would charge. Like I said, I haven't sold it yet. I try not to. What are you guys charging? I have no idea.
Fucking nowhere close to that, mate. Like,
you guys higher or lower?
Lower, bro. Fucking lower. That's why I'm shocked. I'm like, I feel like I'm being robbed now at this case.
Oh, really?
Oh, bro. Like, I essentially don't really price. Like, I don't price things individually like that. I do, but I don't. I just kind of go like, well, you need this, this, and this, and then I kind of go, well, time, by ads you're running, like kind of work it out that way. £500 for content creation and posting. That's madness, mate.
I mean, like maybe that's why I'm not selling much of it. but no, like I said, I try not to. Like I always tell them first, like why I don't want to sell it to them, because there's no real ROI in it. And then most times the conversation ends there. They're like, yeah, you're right. And I always tell them like, hey, if you want me to show you how to schedule these posts out to remove your time from it, I'm happy to do that. And that usually ends the conversation if they really entertain it. Yeah, I've just thrown out the number of $500, and maybe that's why it hasn't sold, but I'm okay with that too. Yeah. So
I really see the benefit in that. I mean, that doesn't work for my niche, which you'll probably understand, but for other people, because I work in martial arts, a lot of it is kind of word of mouth. It is like you need them touch points. You need to repeatedly touch people and the points to get the conversion. And what we've actually found is we're actually generating more leads via people just getting in touch on Facebook and people just going into the gym than we actually are via our lead generating campaign. Like,
it's crazy.
And we're now at the point where I've had to say to the client, like, okay, can you just like, we need to work out like a question thing where you can ask how they kind of got to this point of coming to you, and so we can track leads that way. Because even like when I'm looking, I'm like, oh, campaign looks a bit hit or miss, and he's like, no, my phone doesn't stop. But I'm lucky that I have a client that very much understands that what I do is time efficient for him, and he understands that the content actually does make up a significant portion of what we're doing. Because obviously martial arts instructor, he runs classes all day, every day. He wants to be on the mats. He wants to be working. He wants to be making his money. He doesn't really have time to take photographs and post them and to edit. And that. So for him, it's kind of like a convenience. He's happy to pay for the convenience of not having to do it himself.
Exactly. And it's not that organic strategies can't work, right? Like, it's not like, I'm sure you're going to write the posts better and more effectively than the martial arts gym owner, right? Like, that's inevitable. And it's not that there aren't very unique organic strategies that can still work in today's day and age. But like you said, it's partially niche dependent, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that organic is going to take time, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like we're going to be like, tomorrow we can start getting leads through. Like, it's going to take time. And that's if you have a very good strategy, where in my niche, they're impatient, man. They want to see results. So yeah, I don't know. Paid ads has just always been a better avenue for us. But I don't know. It's not that organic can't work. Organic can work very, very well.
But I mean, let's be honest. Ads is what's going to, generate the higher amount of leads or conversions, and it's also going to generate a significantly higher sum of money from that as well.
I like to think so.